Which of the following two options are likely to cause the most dust exposure? Using hand tools outside. Working with wet or damp materials. Using power tools without extraction. Using power tools with extraction. Working with dry materials.
A scaffold guardrail must be removed to allow you to carry out a task. If you are not a scaffolder, can you remove the guardrail? Yes, if you put it back as soon as you have finished. No, only a scaffolder can remove the guardrail and put it back. Yes, if you put it back before you leave the site. No, only a scaffolder can remove the guardrail, but you can put it back.
Being satisfied with your job can lead to what? Feeling less happy at work. Feeling more stressed at work. Feeling unpopular at work. Feeling less stressed at work.
How should you be informed about what to do in an emergency? Give two answers. By reading the site notice boards. By asking at the local hospital. By looking in the Health and Safety file. By asking the Health and Safety Executive, HSE. By attending the site induction.
You have been injured in an accident at work and, as a result, are absent for more than 7 days. Which two of the following actions must be taken? Your employer must inform the Health and Safety Executive, HSE. The local hospital and the benefits office must be informed. The emergency services must be called to find out how the accident happened. You must pay for any first aid equipment used to treat your injury. The accident must be recorded in the accident book.
What is the meaning of this sign? No pedestrian access. Pedestrian walkway only. Traffic approaching from each direction. Go slow.
If you suspect someone at work has been drinking alcohol, what should you do? Report the situation to your supervisor, as they may be unsafe to work. Get them to drink plenty of strong coffee before they go back to work. Get them to eat and drink something. Wait 30 minutes, ask them to stay away for an hour and then go back to work.
What two things are important for the use of manual handling lifting aids? The lifting aid must be designed for the task. The lifting aid can only be used outside. The user must hold a CSCS card. Lifting aids must not be more than 6 months old. Users must be trained in the correct use of the lifting aid.
Which two topics should be covered in a site induction? Local amenities. Local transportation links. Site emergency procedures. Holiday entitlement. Site rules.
A worker is taking medication which could affect their health and safety in the workplace and that of others. What should they do? Work harder on site. Go and see their doctor. Tell their manager. Take regular breaks.
Identify the true statement about asbestos. Buildings containing asbestos must always be demolished. Asbestos is made up of hazardous microscopic fibres. Asbestos is best disposed of by burning it. If safety goggles are worn, asbestos is harmless.
What would be a good way of reducing fatigue in the workforce? Rotating shift patterns. Random start and finish times. Regular start and finish times. Early start times and a late finish.
You think a load is about to fall from a moving forklift truck. What should you do? Sound the nearest fire alarm bell. Run alongside the machine and try to hold on to the load. Run and tell your supervisor. Keep clear, but try to warn the driver and others in the area.
What is the main risk to this worker wearing only these items of personal protective equipment, PPE? Goggles misting up, limiting vision. Not being able to hear colleagues. Breathing in harmful dust. Back injury from poor posture.
You are using a generator to power some lighting when a lamp blows. You have a spare lamp. What should you do? Replace the lamp without disconnecting the generator. Disconnect the lighting from the generator before replacing the lamp. Wait for a fully qualified electrician with a NIC EIC card. Carry on working in the dark. How can mental well-being be negatively affected? Having considerate friends. Feeling valued at work. A happy home life. Stress at work. What should you do if your permit to work in a confined space will run out before you finish the task you are carrying out? What should you do if your permit to work in a confined space will run out before you finish the task you are carrying out? Carry on working until the job is finished. Hand the permit over to the next shift. Ask your supervisor to change the date on the permit. Leave the confined space before the permit runs out. What two things should you do if you need to use an extension cable? Check the whole cable and connectors for damage. Only check the part of the cable you need for damage. Clean the cable with a damp cloth. Only uncoil the length of cable you need. Uncoil the whole cable.
Which two factors determine the appropriate type of respiratory protective equipment, RPE, to be used for a job? Whether the RPE is made of rubber or plastic. The amount of time since a hazardous spill. The type of hazardous substance. The amount of hazardous substances in the air. Whether the worker wants to wear RPE or not. What will safety footwear with a protective midsole protect you from? What will safety footwear with a protective midsole protect you from? Nails or sharp objects which could puncture the sole of your foot. Spillages which may burn the sole of your foot. Blisters which could occur in warm, wet conditions. Twisting your ankle as they have better grip than regular shoes.
Identify one of the most common causes of death and injury on a construction site. Getting electrocuted by power tools. Getting asthma from fumes. Being struck by mobile plant. Sunburn from being outside.
What are the two main functions of the guards on cutting and grinding machines? To stop you coming into contact with the blade or wheel. To stop fragments flying into the air. To balance the machine. To stop materials getting onto the blade or wheel. To give you a firm handhold.
Which image shows the safest method for using a stepladder?
What should you do if you need special respiratory protective equipment, RPE, to handle a chemical, but no RPE has been provided? Do not start work until you have the correct RPE and training. Start the work, but take regular breaks to reduce exposure. Get on with the job, but try to work quickly to reduce exposure. Sniff the substance to see if it makes you feel unwell. Certain species of plants and animals in England are protected by law. A worker is breaking the law if they do which two things to the plant or animal? Report it. Destroy its habitat. Remove it. Feed it. Photograph it.
Which two of the following will help you to find out about the site emergency procedures and emergency telephone numbers? Reading the site notice boards. Attending the site induction. Looking in the telephone directory. Guidance from the Health and Safety Executive HSE website. Guidance from your local job centre.
Fatigue could affect work rates of a worker. What does this mean? They will work consistently as there are no issues. They will work more slowly as they will feel tired. They will be able to work faster as they will have lots of energy. They will work at the same rate but will need monitoring.
Which one of the following groups needs to be aware of emergency procedures on site? Everyone who is on site. Only the designated first aiders. The directors of the company. Visitors to the site only. What should you do if you see this label on a container or packaging? Find out what protection you need, as the substance is corrosive. Do not use it, as the substance is poisonous and could harm you. Find out what hand cleaner you will need, as the substance will not wash off easily. Wash your hands with cold water after you have used the substance. The inhalation of construction dust can result in which one of these diseases? Tonsillitis, swine flu, silicosis, leprosy. You are walking on site and a large mobile crane reverses across your path. What should you do? Wait or find another way around the crane. Start to run so that you can pass behind the reversing crane. Help the driver to reverse. Pass close to the front of the crane. What should you do if you need to refuel a petrol-driven saw but the container is missing its nozzle? Find the correct dispensing nozzle. Pour as quickly as possible. Try to make a dispensing nozzle yourself. Pour the petrol and wipe up any spillages.
If you need to stack materials on a working platform, what is the best way to stop them falling over the toe board? Put a warning sign on the stack. Have brick guards or netting fitted to the edge. Build the stack so that it leans away from the edge. Cover the stack with polythene.
Which of these signs should be used to identify an emergency escape route? How is working at height defined? Working at any height that could cause an injury if you fell. Working 3 meters above the ground or higher. Working 1.2 meters above the ground or higher. Working 2 meters above the ground or higher.
Which two of the following would result in you being ordered off-site? Being under the influence of alcohol. Driving downhill with a heavy load. Driving without using the flashing beacon. Being under the influence of drugs. Losing your road user's driving license. Which of the following statements about wearing a safety helmet in hot weather is true? You can modify it to keep your head cool. You can wear it back to front if it is more comfortable that way. You must wear it at all times and in the right way. You must take it off during the hottest part of the day.
After watching you work, a Health and Safety Executive, HSE, inspector issues an improvement notice. What does this mean? You need to improve the standard of your work. You are not working in a safe way. Your work has improved since the last visit. You are not working fast enough.
How should hazardous waste be dealt with on site? Give 2 answers. Place it in the correctly labelled container. It can be put into any skip on site. Take it to the nearest local authority waste tip. Put it in a mixed waste skip. Segregate it from other waste. What are 2 possible consequences for you if your employer does not prevent accidents and ill health at work? You won't get the training required to continue working on site. You will have to work longer hours to earn more money. You will have worse welfare facilities on site while improvements are made. You may not be able to work, which would affect your income and family life. You may suffer an injury, affecting your health and well-being.
Identify which of the following signs is associated with a substance being toxic if swallowed or inhaled. When should workers be provided with training on safe lifting techniques? During their job interview. After manual handling or lifting. Only when there is a budget to pay a trainer. Before manual handling or lifting.
A mobile access tower must not be used on what surface? A smooth concrete path. A paved patio. Soft or uneven ground. An asphalt road.
What should an employee do if they think noise at work may have damaged their hearing? Plug their ears with cotton wool to stop any more damage. Take time off work as they are unwell. Nothing as the damage has already been done. Ask their employer or doctor to arrange a hearing test. Which of the following is most likely to cause air pollution? Surface runoff. Excessive noise. Fuel spillage. Using diesel engines.
What should you do if you see the side supports move when you are working in an excavation? Nothing. The sides are expected to move all the time. Work in another part of the excavation instead. Make sure that you and other workers get out quickly. Keep working and watch to see if they move again.
Why is overexposure to vibratory tools and equipment a serious issue? The long-term effects of vibration are not known. There are no early warning signs of damage caused by vibration. Vibration can cause disabling health conditions that cannot be cured. There is no way that exposure to vibration can be prevented.
Which one of the following is not true when using podium steps? Podium step wheels must be locked before you get on. Podium steps can easily topple if you overreach sideways. Podium steps are safe and can't topple over. Podium steps should be inspected before use.
Which one of the following statements about mental health is true? Mental health has to do with our general knowledge. Mental health is all about our intelligence. Mental health is all about how we think and remember things. Mental and physical health are directly linked.
What is the most appropriate course of action if a worker finds material they think is asbestos? Pull it out and take it to landfill. Remove the material and bury it immediately. Tell other workers not to disturb it too much. Assume it is asbestos until a laboratory report is received.